Confirm. I haven't really looked at much with this game, so it should be pretty interesting. What? Hey, Emily. You're not giving up already, are you? Yes. I mean, no. I'm on my way there. Kinda. Are you panicking? Do you need to pull over? Already did. I'm at the side of the road. Already did. I'm at the other side of the road. Oh, already did. I'm at the side of the road. Already did what? Panicked or pulled over? Pulled over. I've got 26 unread messages from my friends and I know it's going to be bad news. I've been sitting at the side of the road for 20 minutes just trying to stay calm. But I don't think I can handle it. I'm thinking about turning around. And you're hoping I'd give you permission? I would like permission to turn around, yes. Look, you're not going to a funeral. You're going to a cool old house to hang out with your friends and watch a meteor shower. You do this every year and you always seem to have a good time. First things first. Hands on the wheel, key in ignition, start driving. Okay. Is she dealing with social anxiety? Because I very much relate to this. There you go. Emily, it feels like you haven't left the apartment in weeks. Being in the middle of nowhere and watching a meteor shower doesn't sound so bad, does it? It's not that. It's like they're sending me like pages and pages of instructions on how to get into this weird old house they rented. Like, there's a keypad on the gate and Gary sent me the code, but I just know I'm going to get locked out somehow and I'm going to run out of gas trying to get back. The cops are going to find me a week from now, a skeletal husk behind the wheel of my car clutching my phone. You're spinning yourself in circles, Em. You're fine. You're safe. They miss you. That's what makes this so hard. I miss them too. That's what makes this so hard. I'm already like 4 hours late. It's going to be another hour before I get there. I don't think another hour is going to make things that much worse. Would it hurt to just be honest with them about it? I don't know. I guess I don't know how to say I wasted a bunch of my time stalling because I didn't want to come and not make it weird. Things are already weird enough. I haven't spoken to any of them in almost a year. You really think they won't forgive you for that? I think it doesn't matter what I think. I think I'm panicking. Emily. What are you so afraid of? You can recall important facts from your memory log. Click the folder icon in the top left corner or press tab to access your memory log. Call back if you see this. We're going to the Kroger down the road. Sorry if we miss you. The gate combination is the third number down on the post-it. See you soon. Huh. 8, 1, 2, 9. Oh, hey, Cliff. There she is, star of the show. You're finally here. Yeah, long drive, huh? It wasn't that bad. I think all in all it was like 3.5 hours. Felt more like 6 from here. We were getting worried about you. Oh, I can only lie. I got delayed by a work thing. Oh, sorry. Work thing took up more time than I expected it to. Took way longer to pack up after the con than I expected. Oh, graphic design convention? Yeah. Well, now the work week is over and it's time to sit around doing nothing. You're gonna love it, Emily. And hey, I take it you got my text message. Yep, all of them. Cool. We were worried you weren't going to be able to get inside. Did Pete have any trouble getting here? Actually, Pete isn't here yet. He's about 33 hours late, yeah. He was supposed to be here last night. Worst of all, the owner of the house didn't want to let us in before everyone named on the rental was here. Like a server at Olive Garden not wanting to seat us until our whole party had arrived. Took some convincing for him to let us stay. They're dropping a lot of, like, trademarked brand names on this. Is that why Mr. Nest gave us an hour of instructions on how not to wreck the place? I think it would have done that either way. He didn't strike me as the kind of guy who gets a lot of company. Not to be mean. Was that too mean? You're fine. Anyway, come on in, Emily. Make yourself comfortable. For real, we've got some catching up to do. How long's it been since I last saw you? Like a year? Yeah, don't keep us waiting any longer. Hey, why don't I take your bag for you? Okay. Hey, everybody's really happy to have you here. I am too. Something bad's gonna happen. Oh, you can point and click. That can be interact. You can use the interact reveal button to show interactive objects in the environment. Ah. $10:30 p.m. Oh, 7:10 p.m. Wait, what? Okay, well, let's walk upstairs. The Shimpton Tipper, August 20th, 1974. It's happening last Tuesday. The group of young men and women run a gamut of creative and professional aspirations. A writer here, a hyper-realist painter here, an industrial engineer turned performance artist beside. The latter would be Clara Jones, whose reputation rapidly rose throughout the past year holder as a holder of revivalist happenings of the highest order. Her work dazzling and frustrating poets and academics alike. Just last week, the group to which Jones belongs gathered in a disused steel plant beneath a meteor shower to take in her latest work, orchestrated with her creative partner Parker Nest. Wow, there's a lot to interact with. Full of Christmas ornaments. Drawers full of bees. Dead bees individually encased in tiny plastic trays, but still. Drawers full of screws. Drawers full of rubber bands. Tiny skulls. Probably mice. Let's go with mice. Full of pens. Some kind of academic office, maybe? What the fuck? Is this literally... I'm not going to read that whole thing. Come hell or high waters. Festivities. Oh, it's paused. Someone in a corner was playing a saw with a bow poorly, and the theremin warble of it screeched through the house until the man caught the bow on the ragged teeth. It snapped with a twang, striking him in the face. A woman in a shawl poured vodka onto the lightly bleeding cut on his eyebrow. Suddenly, there was a joint in my hand, as well as a fresh grasshopper. Who gave them to me? Perhaps they simply manifested there. I may have been soused 3 drinks ago. But I was in the throes of personal heartbreak, and I'd be damned if I wasn't going to have a good time in spite of it. The party gathered as a celebration of the full moon, and had quickly devolved into a celebration of pure debauchery. I observed a jolly, nude man streak across the yard, a comet of pale flesh. We were artists, after all, left to our own devices when in a voluminous quantity of liquor and acid. What else would you expect? I led a small gaggle of quite pulchritudinous young ladies into the attic to show them the accumulator. They oohed and ahed and huddled inside the chamber, impressed with the finely crafted something. Hey, Gary. Emily, I'm so happy you're here. Gary, I'm so happy you're here. How was the convention, aside from long? I spent 2 days in a hotel room with 8 other people. I slept on a pile of towels under an ironing board. Yikes. Still, I'm glad you're here. Are you excited to get out there and see the Perseids? I guess so. Oh man, I'm so excited. I'm all shaky. I feel like I drank a ton of coffee. But I had to stop doing that years ago. Wow, you're pretty into space stuff now, huh? Oh, Emily, I don't know if this is a door you want to open. I've spent a lot of time on astronomy Wikipedia lately. It's a pestilence. I'd love to hear it. I hereby invite the SpaceFX vampire into my home. Okay, so, to start out, you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is a Perseid? What we call the Perseids are actually bits of junk that fall from a much bigger comet. comet, the Swift Tuttle. It has this whole cloud of bits that follows it around its orbit, and those bits get burned up in our atmosphere, hence the streaks of light. In fact, some of those little bits have been a part of the cloud for 1,000 years. Neat, isn't it? To think about how it went so far away just to come right back to us again. Gary, we haven't really caught up in a while. We haven't. Not that things have actually changed. And that's mostly a good thing. I'm still noodling around in Illustrator all day at the glove factory and hanging with Megan and Cliff a bunch. Life is pretty good. Things are good at the glove factory. Things are great at the glove factory. They're starting to branch out into like hospital clothes, and R&D keeps me at a distance, but I've been hearing rumors about doggy shoes. You get to be the young computer savvy person, right? I do. It's a bummer, but it's passively part of my job now, and it's more stuff that to pad the day. Anyway, things are good. I was out the other night with some friends. We went to a dive bar nearby to low-key celebrate my pal Ashley's lizard's birthday. We drank too much in honor of the little bastard and ended up at one of those touristy pick and mix candy shops, which is not a good thing for a drunk person to have access to. You just get too excited and start grabbing all the things you loved as a kid, and then you realize the gummy cola bottles suck, and it's like, why did I get so many of these? Anyway, it was pretty dumb fun, but fun nonetheless. You do anything exciting lately? I went to breakfast with Laura last week. Fun. How's the weekend been going? It's been good. Cliff has been a little clingy, but it's been good just hanging out and taking in the atmosphere. Not quite like old times, but I guess we can't expect them to be. Grey Knight, hello! My day's been pretty good. Good to see you. I hope your day's been good. Megan's been holding up well? I think so, but you know how hesitant she is to talk about what's going on with her. Not in like the weird keep it like a secret way Cliff does. I think she doesn't want to burden people. It's weird how when you see people again for the first time in a while, they seem like exaggerated versions of themselves. But I know that's in part because I'm exaggerated too. You guys already went out to watch the Perseids? We went last night, yeah. It was a bummer not to have the whole group there, but it was good. Did you actually see a comet? Nope. Gave my eyes time to adjust on everything. Burned the stars into my retinas. Perseids are supposed to be at their peak this whole weekend, so it's not too late. Not that the meteor shower is actually why we do this. Francine and Cliff both said they saw one last night. Lucky ducks. What's the plan for tonight? We were talking about watching a movie later, I guess. For now, I'm just going to watch Megan play video games and see if Cliff needs help in the kitchen. Found the time where everybody I follow is generally streaming now, and my days been great. Looking at something to print that holds my Nintendo Switch game cards. Nice, like a sorry, I'm gonna snooze an ad break here. Like a 3D printer. Cliff is working on dinner right now, but he says he should be done soon. Anyway, Emily, you just got here. You should say hey to everybody else. I'll still be here. Wait, by the way, have you heard the house rules yet? House rules? Beginner, but still 3D printer. Nice. I've never actually used one, but I've watched videos of people using them, and I have a coworker that has one, and he makes like little little things. House rules? Yeah, it's one of those things, and the guy who owns the house is one of those people. The owner of the house left us a big binder of rules we have to follow, and they're pretty basic aside from some weirdly specific rules about silverware. A skull dice tower? Nice. Like one of those little dice towers where you like drop the die into a slot and it rolls it for you. The only part that really matters is we're supposed to stay out of the cellar and the attic. Wait, why? Now I want to know what I'm missing. Right? There's probably a body up there. Or bodies, plural. Also, you and me are going to be bunking together in the small bedroom next to the study. We're not going to be up to anything for a while, so you can get settled in. Yeah, but you put it in the eye. Oh, that's cool. Let's talk to Francine. I'm curious about the time. And what that has to do with everything. So, Francine, I'm here. Oh, hey, Emily. Glad you could make it. Your room's down the hall. Yeah, sorry I'm so late. It took longer to disentangle from the con than I thought it would. No need to apologize. Well, thanks for putting this whole thing together. No problem. Hope you've been well. I've been good. Really busy, just non-stop working. Seems like it's been paying off. I saw Pumberton at Borders. Congrats. Thanks. My 3rd grade art teacher started writing books for her grandkids and needed someone to draw them. And we kept in touch online, so I kind of looked into it. How nice. That's very sweet. Since you're here, have you heard the house rules yet? Guy who owns the place is pretty precious about it, huh? I think this place is just important to him, but I'm glad you're all caught up. Oh, and by the way, something's wrong in the bathroom. That's not the start of a good story. Nope. They're old pipes, I guess, and they get backed up sometimes. They work, but there's this big weird pump on the wall that's supposed to keep things flowing. Right away, Cliff came in and messed with it, and I yelled at him, and now we're going to touch it again. And now we're not going to touch it again. Got it. Cool. What is this game? It's called Homebody. It's made by the Game Grumps development team. I forget what the publisher's called. It's like Rogue something, I think. I didn't really know much about it. I know it's like some kind of like walking sim point and click adventure thing. I think it's supposed to be kind of a spooky story, but I'm not entirely sure. So we're just going to kind of find out, I guess. But so far it's kind of interesting. Francine, I heard you actually saw a comet this time. A meteor, not a comet. But yes, it was amazing. Humbling, kinda. Makes you feel kind of small, huh? It does. It's a cliche, sure, but it kind of puts things into a perspective. It's nice to be back in touch with everybody. Feels kind of like a dream. I'm glad to see you. In one piece, I mean. You're referring to the last time we went out to watch the Perseids? It's been on my mind, yeah. Emily, I wasn't paralyzed and I didn't go missing. I fell and hit my head. Sure, we spent a portion of the night in the ER, but that was its own kind of togetherness, wasn't it? Right. I have complicated feelings about that night for sure. Okay, interesting. What do you think of the library? From an anthropological standpoint, they're fascinating. It's fun painting a picture of someone based on the contents of their bookshelf. As for the books themselves, they're not bad per se, but very dated. Yeah? What can you tell about the homeowner from these books? I would guess he's very much a product of his time, and I suspect a number of drugs. He seems to have stopped collecting sometime in the 70s. There are signed first editions by Gary Snyder, Lawrence Ferlinghetti, but none of the spines are broken, like they were never read. More of a collection than a library, maybe? Absolutely. These books are here to be surrounded by, not necessarily to be read. It's been a while. It has. So, how was the drive? What? Did you take the 80, or... What are you, my dad? You know I had the same drive as you. I did a good 30 hours ago, but... I did it a good 30 hours ago, but we were coming from the same place. Right, of course. Well, that's awkward. How have you been? Pretty okay, I think. Finally doing a bit better with everything. Are you still doing freelance writing? Doing, like, magazine copy? Aggregator website copy, but yes. Today the path to the great American novel is paved with listicles, sadly, but there's momentum. Have you been meeting new people in the city? I mean, sure. I've been working my way into a few circles of friends. It's been slow, but I'm being proactive. I believe in you. That stuff all comes with time. Time isn't really an object aside from freelance. I've really got nothing but time. I'm working on the social stuff, but most of the people I talk to on a daily basis are kind of terrible. I get what you mean. People really stress me out sometimes. That's why I stick to people I know. The pool of people you know thins out over time. Before I left home, the only people I knew were Cliff, Gary, Megan, and Pete. Same. And I mean, the exact same. Them and Laura, I guess. How's Laura been? She's been your roommate for what? For now, what? Almost 2 years? Laura? She's doing great. She's been out of the apartment more than usual for work stuff, but she's been good. Wild that we've been living together for almost 2 years now. I'm really grateful for her. Oh, good. Is she still working in data entry? Data analysis, yeah. Without her, I would have fallen apart by now. How nice. I always regretted not getting to know her better. Yeah, she seemed to like you too. The time that you met. We went out to breakfast last week. That sounds nice. You're piecing stuff together about the owner of the house, huh? I forgot you didn't get to meet him. His name is Parker Nest. He seemed like a pretty charming person. Maybe a little eccentric, though. He aggressively mentioned the parties he used to have here. How some of them ebbed and flowed for weeks at a time. So the weird old man who owns this house is way cooler than we could ever hope to be. From a certain point of view, sure. He clearly wanted to reminisce about his glory days, casually dropping names of dead writers he knew. He kept mentioning Ken Kesey and the electric Kool-Aid acid tests. Seemed like they were in the same beatnik milieu, but though I couldn't tell if Nest saw it as a party or an experiment. Wasn't Nest a writer himself? I wonder if he was any good. If he was good, I haven't found any evidence of it. That was too mean, but still. For all we know, he's an acid casualty. He's an acid casualty who was in the right place at the right time, and I'm not about to go snooping for evidence to the contrary. Ah, you used to love snooping. I also used to love mixing every pop together at Burger King. That doesn't mean I should keep doing it. I no longer feel the need to rummage through an old man's personal things. But if you're more comfortable digging, knock yourself out. I read something interesting about the homeowner. Oh yeah? What did you find? Writing about a get-together Nest and his group had. From what it sounds like, I'd guess that's a happening, a thing where a bunch of a bunch of literatus literatis would gather and do drugs and perform. I don't really know all the ins and outs, but that's the impression that I get. Sounds like people would get up and present some pretty interesting art sometimes, but that's secondary. Pretty sure the drugs were the main attraction. Yeah, lots of drinking and drugs in there for sure. And near the end, Nest says he took some women up to the attic to show them his accumulator. Unless that's a double entendre, I'm guessing it's some sort of machine. I mean, anything is possible. It could be both. I guess, but I'd rather not think about it. And hold on. Was that story here in this house? I think so. What other house would it be? So does that mean the accumulator is here in this house with us? I found something else about Parker Nest. Really? That's interesting. What did you find? Newspaper article about Nest and his group. Oh yeah, I read that one. He must have been pretty charismatic back then. I guess he still is now. There's just something about a man with followers that doesn't sit right with me. Uh-oh. I know, it's like the start of a story that ends in a mass suicide. It's pretty culty. I don't think many influential countercultural icons look good with the benefit of hindsight. But Nest seemed like a kind person. I'm choosing to take comfort in that right now. Anyway, it felt like Nest wasn't actually the star of that particular show. It seemed like his partner Clara was the actual mastermind. Do you know anything about the Clara that Nest is involved with? Was involved with. At least that's what I think, based on the way he talks about her. He talked about her? When? When he was showing you the house? Yes, he couldn't stop bringing her up, like everything about the house reminded him of her. Are they family? Her name's Clara Jones. He said she had an engineering degree, that they met in the art community in the late 60s. They had kind of an art collective living here with them in the 70s and 80s. Very bohemian. They're not working together anymore. Nah, he talked in past tense, a lot of long, wistful looks. It was in their youth, he said. She dabbled in exploratory art installations, and he used his relationship with her to toy with what he called experimental areas in the realm of physics. Which means they were at the same parties? And on the same drugs, yes. But I think it went deeper than that. They worked together for years, and Clara helped Nest set up some electrical systems and security in the house. Apparently the whole art collective thing disintegrated a long time ago, before Nest became a recluse. How did Nest ever afford this house? My guess? Trust fund. You know, kind of had to be the old money type to get into the sorts of schools Clara and Nest went to back in the day. In any case, Nest wasn't too eager to get into specifics. Oh yeah? Never mind. I'm gonna go catch up with everybody else. Bye. Well. I guess we should go in here. Oh, it just turns out the light. What do we got here? Parker, thank you for the vials. I swear these are the last I'll need. Do remember to change your bandages because I do not plan on taking you to the ER again. The work will be done soon. Rest assured it is as convoluted as you feared. C. Alright. Doggy. Okay. Oh, I didn't realize I could look around. Ah. Oh, here's the bathroom. What the fuck? The output pressure on this pump should be set to 12 psi at all times. Do not touch. At what? (12 psi). What the fuck? Classy. Illich brand static pressure pumps operations basics. Every Illich brand static pressure pump comes with a configurable set of pressure cylinders that can be arranged in any order. Normal cylinders increase PSI output by 1 per unit of fluid. Heavy-duty cylinders reinforced with a bulkier housing increase PSI output by 5 per unit of fluid. Input fluid amount is displayed on the left. Output PSI value is displayed on the right. Okay. Oh, I see. Pumps guide. Bathroom pump pumps guide. Okay. Oh my god. What the hell was that? Gary. Hey, Emily. Crap. Sorry everything got weird right when you showed up. Yeah, what the fuck? Francine? What's up? Oh, gosh, this is a little creepy. Okay. Locking mechanism doesn't have power. Yellow cable leads from the lock mechanism and into the other room. There's a strange power box mounted into the wall. It looks like it can provide power to one of those two cables that leave the box on the left and right sides, but the box itself needs to be powered on first. Excuse me. There's a yellow and black striped cable coming into the bottom of the box from the floor. A yellow cable leads from the left side of the box out into the foyer. A teal cable leads from the right side and up into the ceiling. Okay. Megan, hey. That lightning was intense. That was upsettingly loud. And it's not even raining out. I noticed that too. Some kind of electrical storm, maybe. Do you know what to do about the power outage? Hell, we don't have any notes on what to do if the power's out. I guess Cliff would be the person to talk to about this. Isn't he an electrician? This place is really disturbing. It's really scary, yeah. Feels like the 7th guest in here. Remember when we bought an old copy of that game at Goodwill? The box was worn like someone had thrown it across a room. Yeah, it looks like somebody had had a pretty bad time with it. And I mean, the game wasn't what I remembered it being. Definitely not the Carnival of Terror we remembered from our childhoods, no. But I still remembered the sting of how scary it had been. And that was enough to make me uneasy. A little too slow paced for me, though. That was more like the type of games you and Francine used to play. Where's Pete? I don't think anyone has heard from him today. He said he'd be here by like 6, but you beat him here. Y'all were actually in touch with him? I haven't heard from him in forever. Huh. Neither have I, really. Oh, jeez. Alright. We aren't going to take a break live, but I am going to just leave a mark here for if you are watching this on YouTube at a later date. That's going to do it for that episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.